Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. My name is Sarah, also known as Laugh Love Langella, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys my recent trips to Golden Oldies for their Spring Market 2025. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Shopping early is one of the key points to finding those really amazing, unique pieces before they sell out. You also get first dibs when they have an abundance of items versus having maybe 10 or so to choose from. Things do sell out early. They do sell wholesale, so they will have people come in purchasing 30 of an item. I made the mistake last year of walking away from some marble scalloped bowls, and by the time I walked back just a few minutes later, every single one of them were claimed. So I will tell you again, you can grab it now, edit later when you are checking out with them. They are happy to hold things to the side and everything. If you are not local to Golden Oldies, there are a couple different ways you can shop some of their amazing finds as well, and I will share that later in the video. But let's take a trip out to Golden Oldies to see what they have. Heading into Golden Oldies Antiques, they are located in High Point, North Carolina. I will have the address listed in the video description if you guys are looking to make a trip out yourselves. I was so excited to see how many breadboards they had recently gotten in. I did not see any last year at Spring Market. They might not have gotten them in before my visit, but they also had a ton of different Turkish pots. They had absolutely massive dough bowls as well. They were still prepping, so you're gonna see really quick that the tents are fairly empty in these clips. Again, my trips were made the weekends before, 2 weekends before Spring Market actually kicked off. So you're gonna see things where there's lots of selection, but you're also gonna see, as here in the tent, there's still a lot left to be unpackaged. So stay tuned, follow their Instagram. They show behind the scenes stuff of what's getting unpackaged, and so you can get a better look in real time for what they actually have available. So here you can see this is right after a container was emptied. There is still much more to come. They have lots of really great furniture pieces available, but I was so excited to see that they brought back the marble scalloped dishes. If you know what happened, Spring Market 24, leave me a comment down below. I'll mention it later, but these are available on their Etsy shop. So if you are looking to get your hands on them and are not local, I will have all of that linked in the video description. They had a ton of different marble bowls. They had very large handled ones. Golden Oldies is a curated vintage antique shop, so you are going to spend a little bit and invest in these beautiful one-of-a-kind pieces. However, they are still so incredibly fair in their pricing versus other places that offer items like this. It is still by far worth it. You're supporting a local business, and I just absolutely love coming here and taking the time to see what fun finds I can come across. I loved these birds on the stand. They give a rustic nautical vibe without truly being coastal, which I really loved. I actually ended up picking up a couple of these for my husband's office. So stay tuned till the end to see a haul of what it is that I actually picked up for Spring Market 2025. These mini clay pots are so great to style on a side table, under your kitchen cabinets. You could layer it with other larger vases too that coordinate with it. But these iron stirrups on a stand literally took my breath away because, as you guys know, I absolutely love horses and I've never come across anything quite like it. So you know that one of them came home with me, but actually 3 of them came home with me because I just love them so very much. They also still had some of the smaller wooden risers available. They recently got some locks in that would be really great hanging on a hook for some shelf styling. You could always use it as a bowl filler as well. And they did have a ton of the wooden stamp blocks as well, which are a really great organic way of bringing in a different textural element, and the patterns can be really fun too. So something to keep in mind while you are shopping, there is also an upstairs. There's 2 sets of staircases to bring you up. There's a lot to take in here. Half of the items will have prices on it. Half of them will not have prices on it. So you will have to ask somebody how much it is. Again, everyone is so extremely helpful. Don't hesitate to ask. You're not bothering them whatsoever. They're happy to help you. But keep in mind, if you see a red tag or red sticker on an item, that means that it is already sold. So those are the only items that you can't pick up on your trip, but they have so much to choose from that you will not be short on selection. I always, even if I'm not in the market for furniture in that given moment, still look around to see what it is that they have, because you can get a more clear visual on what it is that they can get in. They have so many amazing pieces that are very versatile, very unique, and one of a kind. So you can really curate such a beautiful style within your home and add so much character bringing these in. They also had a bunch of cigar molds. I have styled this on my coffee table, just putting one half out. It gives a lot of visual interest and adds warmth with the wood element. They had some wooden blocks, stumps that you could use as like an end table or a pedestal. But now we're gonna head back downstairs to see the second half of what it is they have available here. But again, so much to take in. You have to give yourself at least an hour, probably more, because it's so hard to see absolutely everything that they have, and it is by far worth the journey. This black soapstone bowl would be great styled on a stack of books with a candle in it. They also had these other stone bowl options. Those would be great styled with some succulents outside, because you don't have to worry about the wear and tear of it. They had some smaller wooden jugs and some much, much larger wooden jugs as well, if you're looking to make a statement. Just want to say a quick thank you guys so much for joining me here today and seeing what amazing pieces Golden Oldies has out for Spring Market 2025. If you are enjoying today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up so I know to do more of these in the future. They had even more wooden jugs that they were unwrapping as I was there. Again, there were so many to choose from. It was honestly difficult picking which one to bring home. Spoiler alert, one did come home, but they did have some smaller options as well, which is really great for shelf styling, or if you have a smaller console table. They did have a chest that looks so similar to the one that I use as a side table in our living room. So if you are looking for a special piece like that, definitely don't wait and make a trip out. They did have more of these marble boat options as well. From my last trip, however, there are less available, so that's something that you don't want to sleep on. I loved this marble piece here. I thought that they were a vase, that's my initial thought, but it was tagged as a candle holder. So I'm excited to play around with it and see what purpose it should have depending on the space it's in. All right, so now we are back, friends. I have little lady over here hanging out, so you'll hear some of her throughout this video. But as I mentioned earlier, my trips to Golden Oldies happened a few days and a week and a half before Spring Market began. So if you are shopping during Spring Market, they are going to have that many more items available. They also might have some items sold out from what I've shared in the video. So it really is dependent on when you go, when they're unpackaging things, how things have sold out or are selling out. Things can move so very quickly. And like I mentioned in the intro, there are a few different ways you could shop Golden Oldies. The obvious one that I suggest is making a trip out to their location in High Point, North Carolina, and seeing it all, taking it in for yourself, and just really appreciating all these amazing curated finds in one spot. Everyone there is so incredibly friendly and helpful. If there's an item that you are looking for, you can always ask them if they have it, if they have not unwrapped it yet or so, or if they're expecting to get some in too. Another way to shop, as I've mentioned in previous videos, is their Etsy page. They do have an Etsy shop. I will have it linked down below. Only some items are included on their Etsy, not everything. So I will have certain things that are linked in the video description. I will also just have the general landing page for you. But if there is an item that you are looking for that you saw in the video today, but it is not on their Etsy shop, you can go one of two ways. You can DM them on Instagram, or there is also an email that you can email what it is you are looking for, and they will happily help you guys out with shipping. They do ship. So that way, if you are not local, you can still get your hands on some amazing finds. But I will have all of that information down in the video description for you guys, so that way you can still enjoy some amazing pieces from Golden Oldies Antiques. But I'm excited to get into the haul portion of what it is I picked up at their Spring Market 2025. All right, so kicking it off with an item that you guys had sold out. It has been restocked. I'm crossing my fingers that a couple will be available when this video drops. But so many of you did get your hands on these. I shared it in my spring coffee table styling video. I also shared it on my Instagram, so if you're not following me there, be sure to. You'll see more behind the scenes, real-time stuff from me. But they had these amazing vintage iron stirrups that are on a stand. And there's two variations of them. All of them are unique. No two are the same. But they so generously gave these to me. And it was so incredibly kind. Like I've said, amazing group of people. Everyone there is so incredibly friendly and helpful. But we have two different ones. So we have one here that is a chunkier version. It's also a little shorter. This one's taller with the slimmer profile on it. Both of them are so pretty. I do really like how this one has like an etching, almost leather-like detail. It really gives me a more like Western type of vibe, which I really like. But I had styled this on our built-ins, just propped up on a book. I've also styled it, like I said in my last video, for some coffee table styling. But these are so cool. I've never come across anything quite like it. And I love horses. I love anything pony related. And this is such a fun way of aesthetically bringing in that equine equestrian. You can kind of nod Ralph Lauren in a very like delicate manner, but these are so cool. They did have these in their Etsy shop. They sold out. They restocked. There's a couple left as I'm filming this. We'll see if they're available when this video goes live. But something else that I grabbed, I actually didn't grab it. They shipped it to me because I walked away last year, as I had mentioned before, was this beautiful marble scalloped bowl. So I had seen these at Spring Market last year, made a mental note to say, I absolutely want one of these, walked into the booth, into the tent, and by the time I walked out, every single one of them was taken. So if there is an item that you want, grab it. You can edit later. You can decide to change your mind or something. That's totally okay. But these are in their Etsy shop. So if you would like to get your hands on it without having to make a trip, that will be linked in the video description. I love these as just a little catch-all. I've used it in my kitchen just to put some garlic cloves in it. You can put it on an entry table for your keys. There's so many different things, and I think they are so incredibly stunning. All right, so a quick note, this is going to take a little bit to get through because, like I mentioned earlier, shopping early comes with its own set of perks. You get first dibs on all of the goodies. And something that I had mentioned in my last Golden Oldies video was what I wanted to pick up, and I wasn't exactly sure where it was gonna go. I did end up picking up one of these stunning large wooden jug pots. They had so many available. They had some that were smaller than this, but they also had ones that were larger. I originally planned to get this to go next to the built-ins on the floor just to give a nice like styling element, but it's a little bit shorter than I was wanting to. Amateur move, I didn't bring my measuring tape. However, this does fit really beautifully on the bottom shelf of our built-ins. Because our built-ins are so tall, we also have 9-foot ceilings. I made the shelves a little bit larger than the standard sizing would be, so I can fit bigger items on the bottom, and it still looks proportionate and everything. So this actually fits really nicely on it. So I might, my next trip to Golden Oldies, for one, come with a measuring tape, and two, find a little shorter one to be able to layer with it. I think that would be such a pretty styling element. But they had so many of these to choose from. Now they had darker ones like this. They also had a lighter, more bleach style, and they had some that were nearly black. So no matter what type of color scheme you have in your home, they have something that will work for you. And just so many options. So many options. Something that I was super excited, did not see it right away, but the amazing Carla unpackaged one as I was there, was one of these stone bowls with the like little circular dishes in it. I saw Tiffany from the Meza Home on Instagram style this as a candle holder. Now, I had seen something just like this, not this exact one, but another one that they previously had at Golden Oldies my last trip, and said, that looks like an egg dish. Like, what do you do with that? And then sure enough, Tiffany styles it as a candle holder, and I had to have one myself. I absolutely needed to. So pretty. So Carla found one as I was there because she's amazing. And I was so excited about it. So this is gonna be great on a console table. I could put it on our coffee table on a stack of books or something, but it's just such an amazing statement piece. My last trip, I did see one, only one. So no promises that it's still there. It's also not a solid black. It's like a lighter version of it, but Again, if there's something that I share in today's video, you can just take a screenshot, send them an email, send them a DM, in person, just show it to them, and they will be happy to help you guys find what it is that you are looking for. Something that they did get a ton more of, which I was so excited. I already have these, but I didn't have this color. You know, and if you don't have the whole rainbow of little clay pots, what are you doing? So, saw this really pretty lighter brown, more like a medium brown, I would say. Absolutely gorgeous. And I loved the fact that they had these little iron rings so that when you go to set it on a surface, it doesn't roll around. All of my other ones, I have to perfectly place it and make sure that it's like balanced appropriately because they will just sit and spin. And this alleviates the entire problem that exists with that, which made me so happy. That in itself is just amazing. But they have a bunch of different varieties of color of these as well. There's black, gray, light brown, dark brown. They have some that are like a whitewashed type of style. But I think they have the whitewashed ones on Etsy, if I'm remembering correctly. But I was so incredibly excited about that. I also had seen somebody style one of these as a candle holder, and I apologize, I do not remember who it was, or like a little rest for a candle. It's this little trivet piece, and it has this slight footed detail that is so pretty, but I just love this. They had so many different styles of them as well. I actually picked up 2 of them. I probably should have grabbed a third, to be honest. But I got this one with the other little detail on it as well. They had some that had little like points too, larger, smaller, but an absolute ton to choose from. It's in the very first room as you walk in. Go to the left, and they're underneath a countertop there. But again, ask. Everyone is happy to help you. But I was so excited to find these. These are a great layering piece to be able to add to your decor. You can put it on a side table. It adds a little visual interest as well. You can use it as a coaster for a drink too. It's easily wipeable, which is really great, but so excited about those. Now this, I had not seen anything like it. It is very heavy too. It's this incredible marble candle holder. I did not realize it was a candle holder. I thought that this would make a great little vase for a side table or on my shelves, but I saw the tag actually said candle holder, and I propped one in real quick to see, and that looks amazing too. So this is another like really great versatile piece. They had different variations with the rounded bottom or a squared off one, but I love decorating with organic elements. I think it just really enhances your decor and just adds so much character. So like I love looking for wood, iron, stone, marble, ceramic. You can see a theme happening here, brass. But this was so cool. I've never seen anything quite like this one either, in like a little mini version, but I thought this was so pretty and immediately grabbed that. And then something that I really liked it, but I wasn't entirely sure. I sent my husband a picture of it and he said, "Oh my goodness, you need to grab me those." He loves woodsy, outdoorsy, hunting, fishing, all the things. Look at these amazing birds on a stand. They have this little brass head on it. So I grabbed 2 of them for him. So we were in the process of doing his office, and then we found out that we were having little lady and decided to redo all the flooring in our home and the fireplace downstairs and the built-ins and everything else. It just, when you give a mouse a cookie, you know? But Once everything else is buttoned up, that is the next stop, is going back to his office, because we put that so far on the back burner. But trying to find some really amazing pieces for his office too, and these are so cool. So one's taller than the other, and they had so many. Like I shared in the video earlier, they have some that are white, some that are tan. There was a couple green ones too in the mix. Again, there probably is not as many left as what I shared in the video if you went today to go and see what it is that they have, but loved those. I thought they were so special, so fun. He loves having different elements too styled in his space. He loves the brass, the wood, just giving that more aged type of look. I also grabbed a couple of these little like rusted locks that they had. They did have larger ones that were pewter, like a silver and brass as well. They are bigger. You could easily hang those on like a little hook or something for shelf styling. I'm going to use these as a bowl filler. So I only grabbed 2 because that's all they had. So I'm hoping that I can find some more in a future trip, or maybe antique shopping elsewhere kind of thing. But I thought that that would be a really good bowl filler that's just a little bit different than other things that I've had going on. And I did grab another wooden stamp block that does not have anything on the back of it. I had seen Hannah Naylor style one like that just laying down, and I loved it. I said, like, I've never found one without a back. And she said, I just took the handle off. So if you find one that you really like that has a handle, just rip it off. But they have a ton of different stamp blocks available too. Again, it's a nice organic element, something different, visual interest. It also just sparks a conversation of what is that? It's very interesting looking, but I thought that was super, super cool. Now, in my last Golden Oldies trip, I had shared these 2 brass containers that I had picked up, and I loved them. Well, they are nearly out of them, but they did get some smaller versions in stock, and I thought this would be so perfect on a coffee table book. I can easily put some coasters in it because it's actually big enough to fit a coaster. You could, in theory, put a remote if it's smaller, but this is just such a good little catch-all item. And I could also do it for shelf styling to pull in the brass from one side to the other because these are so large. But I thought that this was such a fun find. They did have some smaller ones that were like a little taller with a lid and a handle on them too. Loved those. I just didn't know where I would put it. But my mother-in-law had seen the brass ones that I have, and so she wanted one too. So I did end up getting a large one also, so that way she has one, so her next trip out to visit us, she'll have to come with some room in her suitcase so that she can bring that home. All right, we are getting down to the last 2 items now. This one is such a beautiful statement. She agrees. She says, this is amazing. It's nearly the size of me. It's so heavy. It's this gorgeous, gorgeous stone bowl tray. It can be anything. It is so incredibly big. I swear, my baby could nearly fit in this thing. It is so large, but I love the etched details on it. It is absolutely incredible. And I love that it has veining of brown and gray throughout it. It's not solid, but this one is absolutely stunning. They did not have, when I was there, more of these, but I'm hoping that they get another container in after this video that has some of these items. They do have a ton of just the general marble bowls, and obviously the scalloped ones too. So there's plenty of marble to go around, but I thought this was so incredibly gorgeous. And then I'm going to carefully put that down. The last item today is something that I've had on my wish list for some time now, and just I've not come across anything small enough, to be honest. But they got in an absolutely huge shipment of wood breadboards, and I've wanted to integrate some vintage breadboards in our kitchen space. However, our kitchen is a little bit smaller. I don't really have room to put anything big, and I will say they had a ton. Like, they got a shipment of, no joke, nearly 1,500 breadboards. A lot of them are big breadboards. If I had a big open wall in the kitchen, I would absolutely do a wall of breadboards from there, because they had so many amazing ones to pick from. But I grabbed 2 of the smallest ones that they had, and they're so nice and chunky looking. Absolutely love. So I grabbed this one, and then I grabbed this one as well. Just so pretty. Carla was telling me that there is this wax that you can put on it to just give it that much more of a new life, because they are a little bit dehydrated, and so they really need that moisture to liven them back up. So I have some on order from Amazon, but I will also link the wax for you guys, so that way if you are gonna grab some boards from them yourself, or you already have some that need some new life, you can absolutely do that. Now, that is going to wrap up today's video, friends. I sure hope you enjoyed shopping with me at Golden Oldies for their Spring Market 2025, and loved seeing what it is I actually picked up from them. Again, if you are local, be sure to stop by, let them know that Sarah sent you there, and I hope you find some really amazing pieces. If you are not local, I will have their Instagram linked down below, as well as the email that you can put in a request to have an item shipped to you. Just give them a little bit. They are super responsive, but they are also super, super busy. So just keep that in mind. They are a small business, but they are killing it. And they are doing such a great job, such great people. I absolutely love them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you are shopping Golden Oldies Spring Market this year, leave me a comment down below and let me know what it is you picked up. I would love to hear about it. But as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me here today, friends, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.